Hi everyone, I have a different backdrop today and I sucked it up and brought out my tripod. I thought I was going to a quiet place, but apparently the kids are biking here too, so I'll figure it out. But it helps to see like more of me, not just like the top of my face, and I am getting my roots done on Saturday. So today, shoot, I usually look at the last video. I think it's day 13? Pretty sure it's day 13. I'm gonna say lucky 13 because today was a good day. I had one doctor appointment today for the genetic counselor, so I got to drum up as much spit as I could and spit in a tube and send it out through FedEx to see if I have the BRCA gene, you know, the mutation, or there's like 8 other things. I feel like a reporter now, and this is actually like what I do for volunteering. It's like, hi, I'm Jen, welcome to Bedford TV News, but I don't wear this. So I want to talk about that first, because yesterday yesterday was awful. After the appointment with the plastic surgeon, it was not empowering at all. I think I said yesterday where I felt like that appointment was tougher than when I found out that I had breast cancer in the first place. I just had a lot less, it's not even a matter of choices. I mean, certainly there were a lot less choices than I had thought, but I didn't click with the plastic surgeon. And I get that there are, you know, certain people that you click with and certain people that you don't. When it comes to doctors, I find that there's several doctors that don't have great bedside manners, but they're fantastic physicians. So I'm like, I don't need to be her friend. I just need her to like do her thing. So, you know, these look okay when the whole thing is said and done. I mean, not these, the version 2 of these. But yeah, all throughout the appointment, it was just not working. And I'm not going to go into detail on that, but I left feeling disempowered. Like, A, my body's not my own because this is all happening. And then I get all excited thinking I'm going to have like all these options for me and have like younger looking boobs. And it's going to be, I go in for surgery, I come out and I'm good to go. And that wasn't the case. So I didn't feel good. So today, after the genetic counselor appointment, which was virtual because we're still in COVID world, the nurse from the breast center at Newton Wellesley called to check in. So she wanted to know how things went at the plastic surgeon. So I don't keep my mouth shut. I did yesterday at the plastic surgeon. I was asking questions, but I feel like it just wasn't the connection just was not there. So I told the nurse all the things that were in my head, because this is serious stuff they're doing here. You know, like I get the cancer's out, but when it's done, you know, when the breast surgeon is done, there's a lot of work here, and that's what I'm living with my body for the rest of my life. And I didn't have to make any decisions yesterday. There were things she said just to mull over in my head. And again, FMD was discussed, so I need to have an appointment with my vascular doctor at MGH to see how all this really is affected. But I mentioned all of my concerns to the nurse at the breast center, and they're fantastic there. Like Newton Wellesley, I'm just so happy with in general, and every person on the team that I've worked with, worked with me with this whole process, has been fantastic. So she listened to everything I had to say, and I mean, she was on the same page where like, yeah, that sounds like, you know, you really didn't like hit it off. But do you want someone that you don't click with working on you and, you know, making me into my version 2.0 here? And I said, no, but if she's a good doctor, then that's a different story. And she said to me, like, you know, if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable, period. And it just helped me flip the switch. And now I need to have an appointment with the breast surgeon again just to talk, to see if they can to see who they're going to find to have another consult with as for a different breast surgeon, for a different plastic surgeon. And my gratefulness I'm going to stick into throughout my vlog today, but I'm grateful that I'm in the Boston area where there's so many different places to choose from. You know, you've got Newton Wellesley, they could do surgery there. You've got MGH, Mass General Hospital, which is like phenomenal. There's Beth Israel, there's Dana-Farber, there's so many different major hospitals and and fantastic doctors here that I have choices, and they're all top notch. So yeah, so I may have my surgery pushed back by a little bit, depending on, I have to have the consult with the breast surgeon again, just to talk to her, not consult, but just to talk to her about where I am, find another plastic surgeon, meet with that person, and then have the breast surgeon and the plastic surgeon correlate a time that they can do the surgery together. That's, again, one big surgery. So depending on their schedules, the surgery might not be August 10th now, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. So the lesson to learn there for me, I've been super reactive. I think I have a right to be right now, but I have to remember about validating myself, and even when it comes to your medical care and whoever's around you, with my friends and the people that I choose to be with, it needs to be a positive energy thing where I fuel them and they fuel me, and it works. The same thing is true with doctors. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. And if you have options, then that's great. But you have to be vocal about, if you're concerned and your gut, like, you've got to listen to your gut. If you're concerned, I'm not concerned about her as a doctor, but just not clicking with where my head is at. Like, one thing that was mentioned was, when I said yesterday about, like, she said that the D silicone size was the largest that they use. And I'm like, after I watched what I posted yesterday, I'm like, I can't imagine that's actually true. Because I see these people with these gargantuan boobs, and they're far bigger than D's. So, like, that can't be the case. And when I mentioned that to the nurse, she's like, well, that's not accurate. So I'm like, yeah. I felt validated, but I didn't really like trust myself that I knew what I was talking about, to know things more than someone who's a medical doctor. But the gist of it is, I said what I had to say, and there's a new plan in action, and we'll go from there and see what happens. So you have to speak up. Yeah, she had mentioned about my breast size, and then she talked about, like, when all is said and done, that I would probably go down to like an A or a B cup. And I don't know if you can tell I've actually lost like a lot of weight. Again, once the Mirena was out, like, my stomach went down substantially. It's crazy. I used to be like so bloated and full, and I'm just not anymore. And this is elevated, so I don't look as chubby. Like, all the vlogs I've been doing have been me holding my hand, and like, you see me from the face, from the neck up, and I just look like I have 25 chins, which if you're, going like that, you do, but in real life, I'm not really fat. And plus, I was playing tennis today, which is another thing I want to get to about overdoing. So I feel much better about stuff, and we'll see how things, go moving forward. Oh, she mentioned the A or B cup, and like I was saying, like, I'm not petite. I'm 5'7", well, 5'6" and 3/4", but I round to 5'7", because I used to be 5'7". I've shrunk a little bit as I've gotten older. And like, I'm not a petite person. Like, I'm not saying that I'm fat. It's just that, like, I'm like German, like, and like, my back is kind of wide, and I can't picture myself with like A cup boobs. I feel like it would just look awkward with the way my torso is. Like, I have long legs. Like, I was not happy when she said that at all. And I'm, after talking to the nurse, I felt like that, that I'm not stuck with having that happen. So moving on, I wrote, tennis, let me mention that first. I'm realizing that I'm overdoing it. Shocker. If you know me, I tend to overdo a lot. And I've been trying to pack in so much stuff to make sure I do it before the surgery, when I won't be able to like do much besides like put my arms here. So I've been playing tennis more than I usually have, and I'm not great at it, but like, it's fun and I get my aggression out. But I didn't play well today, and I was sore. And my coach knows that, like, I'm, having this done, and I just wasn't Like, even when I realized I was sore and when we went to go pick up the balls, I went over to get water instead. Like, la 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 la, you go pick up the balls, I'm gonna have my water. And then the next time we had to pick up balls, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I got the, the metal basket thing, and I started using my right arm to pick up all the balls that were all over, and it was too heavy. So I switched to my left arm, which made me frustrated, but then I'm like, no, because I'll build up my biceps on my left arm, and it was too much. I'm doing too much. I can't try to pack everything in. It's too much. I need to respect my body more than I am, and I'm not really giving myself downtime at all. I mean, part of it is with all the doctor's appointments, there's not a lot of opportunity for downtime, because between that and work and making arrangements for, post-op, it's a lot, and I don't have time. So, usually I'm a huge planner, but when I realized that, and next week, I was supposed to be on vacation next week, and now I'm taking a few days of that vacation to actually take a little mini vacation. I'm not going far, but it's kind of a pampering vacation, and I didn't think too much about it. I've been to this place before, and I just got on the phone and I called, and I'm like, when can I be there? And I told them I had breast cancer, lemonade out of lemons, and they gave me an extra discount. I'm like, okay. Upgraded my room. I'm like, okay, whatever. I didn't ask, they just offered that. So it should be a nice couple of days. And again, I'm not going to overdo there either. The point is just to relax and not have to worry about breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, where am I going to get those from? Because they're there. And it'll only be a nice little getaway for a couple of days. And a break from reality, before stuff happens. And this morning, which I've been thinking about this for a while, because it's almost like you're mourning. Well, it is like, you're mourning a piece of you, a part of you, well, two parts of me. And, these girls have had 49 years with me and have had lots of adventures. And, when she said an A cup, I'm like, I won't have cleavage anymore. If I have an A cup, I don't know. Like, I like my cleavage. It gets me free drinks at the bar. I'd be like, hello, can I have a Heineken, please? Yeah. I mean, I don't need them to be this big, but I would like to have cleavage. It's like go to McDonald's. I'd like booze with some cleavage, please, on the side. Some nicely shaped nipples to go along with it, and please serve that to me on a tray with some good narcotics after the surgery. But it is a morning. So this morning, no pun intended, I realized that I need to almost have a service. One of the things I had mentioned was having, when this is all said and done, if I'm not the same cup size, which I imagine I won't be, and I don't really know if I want to, I could go down a cup size, is to have a bra burning party. Take all my Ds. I don't even know what I'd wear or what I would do with them, but someone's got to have connections to know. Let's just have a Gen bra bonfire and just burn them. Hopefully I'm allowed to do that because there's metal in them. I think that would be very healing. But the other thing is people. Besides bartenders that, giving me free drinks because of my cleavage, it's people. So I sent out 2 emails this morning. I felt like I was standing in a funeral home. I've never given actually, that's not true. I have spoken at a funeral before. When my uncle passed away, I spoke, because that was that was tough to lose a badass like him. And I did speak. And I felt like they need to speak, and since they have no mouths, well, I guess they will soon when they're, this is so wrong. When they cut, and actually with the tripod it helps, when they cut, so that you understand, they cut this shape, around the nipple, and sometimes they can keep the nipple and sometimes they can't. In my case, they can't keep it, but that's how they make the incision, and then they kind of just go in and cut around, and out it goes, and in goes whatever. That will be determined by the next plastic surgeon that I decide to hire. So yeah, so this morning I was behind my little imaginary, I don't know, pulpit, whatever, and thinking of who has really had the most adventures with the ladies, or I should say the most memorable adventures with the ladies. And I sent 2 emails out. One was to the first person that was like my, real, hard fall in love, that kind of thing. Even though I don't know if I knew that it was love back then, whatever. But the first person who really made me feel like I'm beautiful and like, whoo, look at her, whatever, Mr. Debonair. It was like the beginning of me not being a kid anymore and like being a woman and acknowledging that like I'm sexy and pretty, and part of that are these. So that was like beginning, my journey of womanhood is like the first, real partner I had that made me feel empowered and, like a woman. And then the other person was the last relationship that I had been in where, again, I was deeply in love. And I'm not going to go into super details here, but I feel like, once I got divorced, it's like you see yourself as a different person. I was in my 40s. I mean, it's been 7 years, so what's that, 42 or something? Really? Is that right? 49? Wow, 42? No, that can't be right. Oh, whatever it was. I don't know. I'll do the math. The point is that I felt with him, I felt like, again, the womanhood. I felt beautiful and I felt pretty and sexy again. And I mean, that's part of what breasts are, besides like, being useful for things, maternal things, whatever. I mean, you look at boobs and it's like they're, part of what makes a woman sexy, at least in my head. And he like opened a world to me where I could feel that way and realize that my, body is like a shrine. And I never felt that way before. So I felt like, kind of like bookends almost, like, the first and then the last person to really, see these ladies in action and stuff. And I felt very complete as to this is the journey that I've been on with the ladies. And I needed to do that. I needed to just, say those things like you're at a funeral and, here's the things that I'm grateful for with those people. And I just found it to be a very healing, with no expectation on their end whatsoever. It's just saying it out there for what they brought to me. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. So I'll finish up. But I think, I don't know if other people have done this or not, but I the morning of that and almost like having a service for your own boobs, I think provides some closure before, the surgery and all that, to, end that part of you and see what happens with the new ones that come in. We'll see. But it was very, very healing for me. And if there's anyone else out there who's going through this, it's an idea of, whether you want to journal it or say it or call someone or, have a bra burning party, whatever, just to know that you've had a great life with them. And, life's far from over, but to acknowledge the people that have been the most important in their lives. So I did that, and it was a good feeling. And we'll see, what comes next. It's funny because I forget like the point of what I want to say and stuff, and I just kind of wing it. but I think I covered enough today, and I'm at almost 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go eat. Have not really been taking care of myself that way because I've been on the go so much. Yeah, so those are the 3 things. But I feel like I only did one grateful thing, so I'll do the other 2. I'm grateful for the adventures that these have been on and the people that have been on those adventures with me and taught me the things about me that they have. The 3rd thing and last thing that I'll leave is my friends. Because I used to say that I have a lot of acquaintances. Like, people look at my Facebook profile or my LinkedIn page and stuff, and they're like, you know a lot of people. And especially in town, because I volunteer a lot, whatever, so people know who I am. But I, before this, wouldn't share as much vulnerable things with people. And I would say that I have a lot of acquaintances. I mean, I didn't even said it on here, and not a lot of friends. But I am not in that frame of thinking anymore. I have a lot of friends. It says a lot about me as a person, like Susan Lucci. You like me, you really like me, or whatever she said. The people that are stepping up to help, like people that I wouldn't even expect, in the most random ways. Like, I have a buckle in my carpet, and a friend of mine reached out and said, I can be your fix-it person, because she's very like do-it-yourselfer. It's amazing what she's done. And I'm like, I need the buckle fixed in my carpet, because like sometimes I just, not trip, but like, get caught on it. And the last thing I need to do is like stumble when I have all this stuff going on. And she said, well, I didn't read the whole message, but I think that we can at least figure out a plan to fix that. I'm really getting eaten alive, so I'm gonna end off there. But my friends, like, ultimately grateful, really, for every little thing that you've asked, to help me with. Like, everything is just grateful. Like, one of my friends is buying yogurt. I'm like, I don't need groceries, but I have no yogurt, and I have to eat so much calcium every day to keep the kidney stone at bay. And I'm like, I really need yogurt, and like hair clips, because they keep cracking, because my hair is like super thick. And they keep cracking, and I have been having my hair back a lot because it's just overgrown. I need a haircut. And she's like, I'll drop them off tomorrow. And I'm like, that's friends right there. And it's not acquaintances, like, those are friends. So for all of you like that have reached out and are thinking about me, and saying prayers, or bringing food, or bringing yogurt, or dropping off my dry cleaning, or like whatever, like, thank you. It's one thing the plastic surgeon said that's right, is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And I'm just so grateful, really. All right, that's it. Have a great night, everyone. Be empowered. My friend Laura says, go fight, win. So I'm going to say that for you. Go fight, win. All right, have a good night, day, whatever. Bye.